Growing up, we're always told that you gotta find your purpose. You gotta be on your purpose. Yeah, I'm on my purpose. I'm standing on business. Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Right? That's cap. Let me tell you why. Whenever we think of a life purpose, it's always centered around an activity. Right? My purpose in life is to do music, be the best NBA player or movie star, start a business, and become a millionaire. And that's all well and good. I'm not saying that if that's one of your goals that you shouldn't strive to pursue that. I'm saying that finding your life's purpose won't give you purpose unless you think about it in a way that it doesn't externalize your self-worth. A lot of us grow up putting our self-worth on these activities, playing a sport, playing an instrument, what job we have, how much money we make, unconsciously. So we don't even know that we're actually doing this until you actually pause and reflect on how you view the activities that you're doing in your life. And when you understand the deeper reasons behind why you do what you do, you actually may be unconsciously doing that, externalizing your self-worth. This is toxic for our self-image because when you place that on an external activity, and now that external activity has control over how you feel about yourself. Your self-love is dependent on whether you're doing good or bad at that thing, how well you're doing at your job, how well you're doing at your sport. A lot of us grow up not knowing who we are outside of a ball, not knowing who we are outside of an instrument, not knowing who we are outside of our grades. And I'm guilty of this too. Growing up, I subconsciously put my self-worth based on how well I did in school. A lot of that came from parental pressure to do well in school, but it wasn't until I got to college and reflected on, wow, I subconsciously tied my self-worth to how well I did in school. If I passed this class or that class, and I was depressed. Going to college, failing a class for the first time really was a huge blow to my self-confidence in college and my overall view of myself. So I had to unpack that and do that internal work. And you may be unconsciously doing it too with a job or a sport or any other activity. Sometimes when we think of having a life purpose, it can box you into one thing. Life is so much more than just one activity, just doing a job or playing a sport or doing music. Again, I'm not saying that you can't find purpose in those things because of how they affect the people around you, how your music inspires people around you, or how playing a sport you inspire your teammates. I'm not saying that you can't find purpose in that based on how it affects others. I'm saying that placing your self-worth on things outside yourself, you give the power of loving yourself away. Avoid the trap of not letting yourself feel any sense of inner peace or self-love until you've achieved XYZ, because it's never going to be enough. If you win one championship, okay, you got to win two. You win two, you got to win three. Make $1 million, you got to make 2 million, etc., etc. And it gets to a point where you're constantly on a hamster wheel, constantly spinning, constantly chasing the next thing and never feeling like it's enough. And so my main point is that don't let chasing your purpose stop you from experiencing the fullness of life right now. Stop you from experiencing the joy of life that you can have right now, and thinking that once you achieve this, then you'll be happy. Once you get that job promotion, then you'll be happy. Once you make 6 figures, 7 figures, then you'll be happy. Because once you get to that point, there's always going to be the next thing to do. And so those external things shouldn't dictate the happiness you have within yourself. Again, I'm not saying you shouldn't strive towards those things, but it's the difference between doing something for fulfillment and being fulfilled in doing something. Because when you pursue an activity and you're already fulfilled within yourself, you do it with more enthusiasm and more joy in doing that thing versus doing it and trying to get something out of it. When you're doing it to get something out of it, it implies that you're not fulfilled within yourself, and so you're doing that thing to fulfill yourself. But when you're already fulfilled, then you're able to move on a frequency of enthusiasm and joy within yourself. Like, for example, playing basketball and you miss a shot and you hang your head like, damn, missed the shot. But no, you got to keep going. You got to get back on defense. You got to get ready for the next play and shrug it off and be ready for the next opportunity to take that shot. Your mindset, when you're already fulfilled within yourself, when you miss a shot, it wouldn't be a knock on your self-worth as a ball player. And when you take those shots, the mindset is that whether you make it or you miss it, whatever happens, you still going to shoot it and not overthink it, because you know you've put the work in practice. And so once it leaves your hands, the ball is literally out of your hands. And if it goes in, it goes in. If it goes out, if it misses, on to the next play. I'm saying not to attach your value, your skill level as a ball player to one shot. So the main takeaway from this video is just to reflect on whether or not you've subconsciously placed your self-worth on an external activity, on a job, or on a sport, etc. There's more to life than just a job. And so when you're chasing these goals, reflect on why you're doing what you're doing. Because you may find that what you're looking for, you already have. You may be already living the life of your dreams.